So Biden made a bad deal for Brittney Griner. This is a Bloomberg story, not Fox. In exchange for WNBA star Brittney Griner, the U.S. agreed to pardon Victor Bout, a convicted arms dealer serving a 25-year sentence in Illinois. Bout was responsible for supplying weapons to rogues and terrorists around the world. Many committed to killing Americans, from the Taliban to Colombia's leftist FARC rebels to former Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi. He's believed to have links to the Russian intelligence apparatus and to members of President Vladimir Putin's inner circle. Given the intense public interest in Griner's case, Biden had considerable motivation to make a deal, yet on balance, the U.S. got the worst of it. Bout's conviction in 2011 came after years of painstaking effort by U.S. intelligence, diplomatic, and law enforcement agencies. Exchanging such a dangerous criminal for an athlete with no discernible intelligence value to Russia is unavoidably an affront to the U.S. justice system. Tom.
Yeah, on the surface, this is like a very populist move here, but there's a couple other Americans that are over there that are over there for very minor things are being held. But what's really interesting to me is the White House is in the middle of a little crisis on this. They knew, and they've been planning for weeks, the Marriage Equality Act and the big signing ceremony, and the rainbow lights are on the White House. You saw that a day ago?
Yeah.
Big deal, very big deal. LGBTQ, people celebrating that and everything. But the truth was, and this just came out, it's kind of shocking, when Biden was getting ready to sign the Marriage Equality Act and he was negotiating with Russia, he thought he was getting Grindr back.
You're so funny. You're so funny.
So he was getting ready for the big sign.
This is when Tom's being a comedian. You've been spending a little too much time with Vinny.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. But did you see what Sheila Jackson from Texas said? She goes, let me say there's no one that I can't remember. She goes, but actually no Americans were killed. How the hell do you know?
No. I want you to read the whole quote with the straight face, Vinny.
Okay.
Read it.
Wait, let me say this. No one knows the story of the weapons dealer, if you will. And as the facts would tell them, he was sentenced to 25 years. He served 11 to 16. I can't remember the exact number, but in actuality, she doesn't even know the number. His weapons might have been used to kill Americans, but he has not killed Americans.
Might have, but has not.
Yeah, dude, this is so stupid. I'm not saying he's not a nasty, bad guy, but I will tell you that I believe that Americans should know that the sovereignty of the nation will always be behind them, will never be forgotten. Brittney Griner deserves a fight that we put forth, so does Paul Whelan.
So does who?
Paul Whelan, who's a freaking Marine that's been there for...
Who is still there.
They're going to be there for another, 5 years? But it's unbelievable how... Dude, I'm telling you right now, athletes...
Let me tell you,
athletes.
Her re-election is going to contain sound bites from this for the next 20 years.
Oh, 100%.
And by the way, this is by the way, if so, let's flip this.
Okay.
Say DeSantis or Trump were president.
Yes.
Okay. What would they have, and how long would it have taken for Griner to come here? And what would they have gotten in return in the negotiation?
Well, Pat, just really fast.
Either one of them, with DeSantis or Trump.
This is, you want to talk about crazy? Funny you bring it up. Trump, they offered him, he had a chance to take Whelan out for Victor Bout, and he said no. That's how bad this Victor Bout is, that Trump was like, listen, Whelan, stay in there for longer because we're not giving this guy up. That's how, dude, the merchant of death. Like, mind you, Pat, I have a friend that's dog's name is Pickles. You know why? The dog eats pickles. What the hell do you think the merchant of death does? He sells death. So she's an idiot, Sheila, whoever the hell she is. But bro, you can't compare the two. And it's like Trump. That's how bad this guy is. That Trump said to the Whelan family, "I'm sorry. God bless him. He's a Marine. God bless his service and his whatever. But
I'm not giving this guy.
I'm not giving him up."
You don't think he looks like a guy that's maybe like from? Just look at his face.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look what he looks like.
Yeah.
What does he look like, Rob? That mustache is legit.
He might have a gun in the mustache.
His eyes. You know what his eyes look like?
Yeah.
Say something.
I have problem.
Even if you have a bad thought, good luck.
Yeah, dude. He looks like he's like, you have problem with that guy. Dude, think about how many people he's armed from the African civil wars and all that. Bro, that guy is. He's done enough dirt to. He has so much blood in his hands, and we just gave him back. Imagine the party they threw for that.
And you look at how long it took to get him. You read the story about how long they worked to isolate him, and then how much evidence they had, and how hard then was it to lasso him.
Oh my God!
And
Insane.
the effort that was spent in the international, specifically the U.S. intelligence community, to arrest this guy in the first place.
Oh, did you see those old interviews that they were showing on social media of, I think it was like 60 Minutes, or they're interviewing the American intelligence agencies about who this guy really was, and they're like, he is a evil, disgusting, despicable man. We're lucky we got him.
I want to get back to Pat's question. What do you think DeSantis or Trump or someone else would have done with enough time? Let me tell you, the U.S. hostages came home from Iran right after the Reagan inauguration. Like, it was quick. And there's a simple reason for that. They did not want to negotiate or screw with Ronald Reagan. And you have to come from a strong place that says, listen, these are not political prisoners. These are not spies. These two folks are coming home, and are coming home quick, and I need you to take care of this. Are we communicating? Mm-hmm. And that is a position of strength behind closed doors. Then it's like, so what do you need to kind of save face? What harbor do you need? I'll help you out, but I'm not giving you your guy. That guy's not coming home, but I will let you save face. I will let some spin come out of this, but my folks are coming home, and you're not going to screw with me. That is the way you have to negotiate with these folks. You can't embarrass Putin publicly. But what you can do is you can give him an out without giving him his asset, and you can get people back. You just have to be strong enough to sit kneecap to kneecap to do it, and have him believe that you are not screwing around.
Here's my question. What is Putin? Now he's in Russia. Is he a free man in Russia? I don't know what's going on. He's the merchant of death. That's our label. Number two questions, Pat. What is Russia doing with him? I don't think he's locked up, number one. Number two, if he's not going to go to jail, do you not think he's going to go back to work?
He's openly doing interviews.
He's going to go back to work.
Hey, look, they've done everything but give the guy a parade. He's doing interviews.
Yeah.
He's doing all these things.
He's a star. Dude, they love it.
Did you see what the Russian TV channel said about this?
No.
You didn't see what the Russian TV, the lady who was talking about the saying, she says how the Americans are idiots for doing this. He says Americans are such idiots because they're trying to please their liberal voters. They exchanged him for a basketball player that hates their country.
Brittney Griner.
This is a Russian news saying. If I can find this clip, that's the one right there. That's the one. How many minutes is that? Let me see. How long is this?
This is it.
How long? That's 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Go to the last 20 seconds. Unmuted. Take the audio out because
the music is.
So. Anyways, this lady, you have to watch this clip. Whatever you do, watch this clip because she's talking about
American voters are choosing. Wait, what was that, Rob?
Okay, that's the part. It's the last 30 seconds when she says it. Go to the last 30 seconds. She was about Americans are choosing the obvious. I think for us is one more piece of good news. The first good news is that Bout has returned. Second good news is that a nation, that spits on its heroes to the extent that it considers it significantly more important to free a rightfully charged, well-known athlete. She didn't suffer because she served her motherland, but because she couldn't live for 10 hours without hash, instead of freeing the person in prison for 2 years, for serving his motherland.
Wow.
This says a lot about the state of the society. This says a lot about the state of society of these intelligence agencies. Watch this.
Wow.
And everything related to geopolitical confrontation.
They're laughing at us,
hear what she says about America.
Did you just, whatever you just said was
powerful.
Crazy.
Yeah. Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
She's right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a very powerful statement right here. I think regarding Brittney Griner, I think the charges that she received from Russia were trumped up. She had hash. It's like she didn't deserve to go to jail. Whatever, like in Siberia, that's a ridiculous.
You should know better to bring weed there.
No, it's not trumped up. But she had hash. She shouldn't have had hash.
Okay, I'm just, to go to jail for fucking some little weed. That's
the law of that country.
You can't apply California law to Moscow.
That's not my point. My point is this.
Yes, it was.
You know what I love about? No, it wasn't, Tom. Here's my point. Listen for a change. Here's my point. Do you know what Israel does with prisoner swaps? Do you remember the story, what Israel has done with prisoner swaps?
Tell me.
There's a story. Do you know how many, for one Israeli soldier, he wasn't the captain of the military, he wasn't
just
the general.
A foot soldier.
He was a soldier. His name was Gilad Shalit. This is back in 2011. You know how many Palestinian prisoners they swapped from him? I don't even know if that number is right. It was about 1,000 soldiers.
For the one guy.
So what they're saying in Israel is like, if you serve your country, you have a mandatory 2-year time to serve. If you serve your country, God forbid something happens to you, we are coming
Dead
to
in
get
your
you.
ass.
We are coming to get your ass. And that's
Why
my
you don't
problem.
mess with the Mossad.
Nope.
Exactly.
Nope.
They traded 1,000 Palestinian
Respect.
prisoners for one soldier. That's when you fight for your country. That's when you fight for your survival. You say, God forbid something happens, they're coming to get me,
You know,
and they're going to exchange 1,000 fucking Palestinians.
That's pretty gangster.
Let me tell you.
That's
But
That's the problem that I have with this thing.
but
is
not arms
we got to
dealers.
get
Oh,
that
soldier back.
American soldier
Yep.
back
Yep.
first and foremost.
I agree, Adam. 100%.
Adam is 100% right with this. But you know what it does do? So think about, like, you know how you, when you were in school and you got into fights with other gangs, like your crew got into a fight with another gang or whatever crew, you would learn a lot about the level of unity of the other gang based on how they defended each other, right? You know how sometimes you'd be talking like, well, I don't like him anyways. He's, I know we're part of the same side, but he's a freaking idiot. You're like, oh shit, this guy's got no backing for his own guy. Publicly, you always 100% defend whoever's your side. Always. You always defend who's on your side. Privately, you say, I think you were a little bit off on this one, but publicly, you always defend. You know what Russia's showing? Motherland is number one. You know what America's showing? Politics is number one.
Goddamn right.
That's the one thing about Democrats. Democratic Party is above America. That is why the Democratic political party is losing votes, okay? Because they have party over America, and a lot of people don't like that. They want America over politics. Anybody that's your political party over the country you represent, you got issues. So with all the craziness taking place, I believe future looks bright. If you believe future looks bright, get your latest Future Looks Bright hat of Valuetainment. It says Future Looks Bright here, Future Looks Bright here. We got them in white, we got them in black, we got them in red. Our black on black sold out. These are about to sell out. If you haven't ordered one yet, we had a person in Michigan, bought one, then he bought 3. Then when those 3 people weren't in the office, they had to order 58 of them because people wanted the Future Looks Bright hat, especially during times like this, because ain't nobody saying Future Looks Bright. To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here. And to watch the entire podcast, click here. Take care, everybody.